and fighting for all of us. If not Israel, they will be busy with you. Let us see this Christmas how many cars will run over Christmas people doing shopping in Germany. Huh?
Prediction is very difficult, especially if it's about the future. So, how is it possible? 4 different methods. Firstly, just a coincidence. Someone says something and by chance, it happens. Secondly, insider information. Someone knows something and they speak from a position of knowledge, pretending to have predicted it. Thirdly, divine information. We can skip that one. And lastly, it is easy to predict an event when it is a likely or even obvious outcome of a situation. So, did the Christian prince have insider knowledge, somehow? Well, the next clip will answer that question.
And let me say this in English, so you can understand what I'm saying.
I have translation.
No, I know you have translation, but I just want to make sure you get it right. There will come a day that we will see far more radical extremists and terrorists coming out of Europe because of the lack of decision-making, trying to be politically correct, or assuming that they know the Middle East and they know Islam and they know the others far better than we do. And I'm sorry, but that's pure ignorance.
It turns out, the prediction was an obvious one. Note the key features of the speech. For starters, even though the foreign minister had been speaking in Arabic using a translator, he suddenly decided to speak in English.
And let me say this in English, so you can understand what I'm saying.
I have translation.
No, I know you have translation, but I just want to make sure you get it right.
What a clear warning to the world. He then predicted the rise in extremism in Europe, and he said it was due to ignorance about the Middle East and Islam.
There will come a day that we will see far more radical extremists and terrorists coming out of Europe because of the lack of decision-making, trying to be politically correct, or assuming that they know the Middle East and they know Islam and they know the others far better than we do. And I'm sorry, but that's pure ignorance.
The mainstream media and politicians are hell-bent on ignoring the common denominator of the problem, hence failing to prevent further incidents such as these. In Great Britain, for instance, there is an increasing worry that their current government will introduce blasphemy laws under the false pretense of protecting cultural sensitivities. In reality, all this would do is to shut the much-needed discussion about Islam, which would certainly save lives. Brigitte Gabriel.
We were not here to bash Muslims. You were the one who brought up the issue about most Muslims, not us. And since you brought it up, allow me to elaborate with my answer. There are 1.2 billion Muslims in the world today. Of course, not all of them are radicals. The majority of them are peaceful people. The radicals are estimated to be between 15 to 25%, according to all intelligence services around the world. That leaves 75% of them peaceful people. But when you look at 15 to 25% of the world Muslim population, you're looking at 180 million to 300 million people dedicated to the destruction of Western civilization. That is as big of the United States. So why should we worry about the radicals, 15 to 25%? Because it is the radicals that kill. Because it is the radicals that behead and massacre. When you look throughout history, when you look at all the lessons of history, most Germans were peaceful. Yet the Nazis drove the agenda. And as a result, 60 million people died. Almost 14 million in concentration camps. 6 million were Jews. The peaceful majority were irrelevant. When you look at Russia, most Russians were peaceful as well. Yet the Russians were able to kill 20 million people. The peaceful majority were irrelevant. When you look at China, for example, most Chinese were peaceful as well. Yet the Chinese were able to kill 70 million people. The peaceful majority were irrelevant. When you look at Japan prior to World War II, most Japanese were peaceful as well. Yet Japan was able to butcher its way across Southeast Asia, killing 12 million people, mostly killed with bayonets and shovels. The peaceful majority were irrelevant. On September 11th in the United States, we had 2.3 million Arab Muslims living in the United States. It took 19 hijackers, 19 radicals to bring America down to its knees, destroy the World Trade Center, attack the Pentagon, and kill almost 3,000 Americans that day. The peaceful majority were irrelevant. So for all our powers of reasons and us talking about moderate and peaceful Muslims, I'm glad you're here. But where are the others speaking out? And since you are the only Muslim representative, applause till the end. Thank you. Thank you. And since you're the only Muslim representative in here, you took the limelight instead of speaking about why our government, and I assume, are you an American? You're an American citizen. So as an American citizen, you sat in this room and instead of standing up and saying a question or asking something about our 4 Americans that died and what our government is doing to correct the problem, you stood there to make a point about peaceful, moderate Muslims. I wish you brought 10 with you to question about how we can hold our government responsible. It is time we take political correctness and throw it in the garbage where it belongs and stop calling it.
Shutting down the conversation about Islam will not protect Muslims, but it enables the extremists to thrive, which puts more Muslims at risk of radicalization. Shutting down this uncomfortable debate only helps the people who will be exposed of wrongdoings during its course, and much of the fight back against this well-overdue conversation is from such actors. Nonetheless, informing the masses about the realities of what is happening is the key to prevent further atrocities, and seeing as the mainstream media and politicians are not picking up this mantle, is up to us, the population, to get it done. The truly knowledgeable people are the ones we should listen to. People such as the Christian Prince.
I support Israel, and I am an Arab. And I mentioned many times, if the Israeli army allow me to join them to fight those terrorists, I will be honored. For when we fight those terrorists, we are protecting the Christians too. We played to you the video, how the Muslims, they say they want to attack all the way to Rome. Which means if you are a Catholic, you should be thankful for the Jews. They are defending your Rome. They will come into Rome. Where? To Rome. What they have to do with Rome? Is Israel in Rome? Maybe. Yeah, what seriously, what the Muslims have to do with Rome? They are targeting the Catholic. They hate the Catholic. And this guy, he's defending the Muslims. He claimed to be against Islam, but he is against Israel. They want to destroy every country in the world. Their dream to dominate and control every land. And Israel is doing and fighting for all of us. If not Israel, they will be busy with you. Let us see this Christmas how many cars will run over Christmas people doing shopping in Germany. Huh? They must be sent by the Zionist. This guy is telling you that he is coming to Rome. Are you ready? Listen, we should not support Israel. We should let Hamas take over so we can kill the Catholic. Listen carefully what he will say. Uh-oh, error. I want to play it where he maybe here. Do you see? It says today Rome is the capital of the Catholic or the Crusader capital. We want to come to the Catholic. And the bald potato kid, he want to defend the children of Hamas.
القسطنطينية وإذا كانت اليوم هي عاصمة الكاثوليك أو الصليبية التي أعلنت عداءها للإسلام ليمنعوا نهضة الإسلام من جديد، ستكون عاصمتهم نقطة متقدمة للفتوحات الإسلامية التي تنساح في أوروبا كلها ثم تلتفت إلى الأمريكتين بل إلى أوروبا الشرقية.
And there will be refreshments afterward.